Hey everybody, it's Chattin with CHAP. I'm your host Ginger Wade, and I have Sara with me again.
Hello.
She almost thought she needed to say her name, but I said it for her. We love chatting together, right?
Yes, we do.
So we are here, and you'll notice that we are in our lovely,
We're twins.
matching outfits, and we're going to tell you all about that in just a few minutes.
Later, yes.
But we've had some stuff happening.
Yes, it's been a busy couple of weeks,
It
and we've had some
has.
exciting events. So we wanted to tell you all about our midwinter conference that's all wrapped up and done,
Yay.
and it was another wonderful event.
Mm-hmm.
We are very encouraged by all of you who came and seeing all of your faces and being in a room together. There's nothing that replaces that. Being in a room together with other like-minded people, all focused on the same thing. It is so good. It's good for the soul.
It
Yes,
really
and
is.
that's what I take away from midwinter. It was so encouraging. This time of year is just, we're so ready for winter to be over, but we're also like, we have to finish our school year, and it gets overwhelming. And so remembering why we're homeschooling, that was one of my favorite talks that I heard during midwinter was Andrew Pudawa, and he was talking about just why you're doing what you're doing and these kids and their eternal souls. And that is something that's what we need. That's the encouragement, the boost that we need. And that's why we do these events at the time that we do them, because we know it gets hard.
Yeah.
It gets rough. And so it was great.
Yeah. So it's easy to start strong, but finishing strong is the challenge, right?
Yes.
So we want to finish
Definitely.
each year strong and well. So coming right off of the midwinter was the Whistle Stop tour. And so midwinter was in Lancaster, and then we had a whistle stop in State College and another whistle stop in Pittsburgh. So woo to covering the state. Yay to Andrew Pudawa. So it was really great. And we had great crowds at both locations. Andrew, of course, is wonderful, loves to connect with people, loves to encourage them in their faith, in their homeschool journey, and with some practical tips, too, on how to do language arts, of course. But it was just a great time of fellowship. It was really fun to be here. And so many people who don't know CHAP, who need to know about the resources that we have out there. So, guys, if you know us,
Spread the word.
yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and all the things, and whatever. But tell people, like, share it, post about us, send things out to other people, let them know that we are here, let them know about the events that are coming up, because it gives so much encouragement to people. And just that little message that you could share with someone, that there is something out there that would give them the encouragement they need. I mean, that could be huge in their lives.
Yeah.
You could do a great, big, awesome thing for somebody. So, yeah, Whistle Stop was great. And everyone is, everyone's looking for encouragement. Yeah. So we are looking to continue to do these things. If you want to be involved at any of the three, we would love to hear from you. If you have ideas or whatever and want to lend a hand, like we say, time, talents, treasure, we would love to have you on the team so we can keep building each other up and keep doing these awesome things.
So the reason we are twins today, we are wearing our Navy hoodies that we got because of going on an amazing trip. But first, we learned about the Navy and what they were hoping to do with homeschoolers over the summer at a leadership event. And they were there specifically to meet with homeschool leaders because they want to be involved in our conventions. And so CHAP, we got connected with the Navy, and they are a big convention sponsor this year. We're so thankful to them for that. But they're going to be at the convention, and so why is the Navy?
Well, Sara, just
trying
like
to get involved
everybody
with us?
else is learning that homeschoolers are awesome.
We are awesome.
The colleges are learning it. The employers are learning
Yes,
it. And the military
yes.
is punching into. They're like, you know what? These are hardworking kids. Or young adults, and they love the country, and they are self-motivated and all that type of stuff, and they're finally like, you know what, we want to talk to homeschoolers. This is amazing. So they're finally aware that we are out there, and since
Something we already knew about our kids, they are now seeing.
But they're starting to see it. So they are sponsoring convention, and then they wanted to give us this opportunity so we could see what Navy life was like.
Yeah.
So we got to take this trip. So what was the trip?
Oh, man. It was amazing. We went out to the San Diego Naval Base and got flown onto a aircraft carrier, the USS Nimitz. And we got to stay overnight and have a tour of the entire ship. We got to see all the flight operations on the deck. It was Top Gun. It was amazing. It was amazing.
We were singing songs from Top Gun.
Oh, it was so cool.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go? It was such great fun, and it was awesome. And we had conversations. Like, we got to see the operations, but we got to sit down with enlisted men, with officers, with senior enlisted men, and we had conversations about what they were doing there, what their future plans are, what their opportunities are. And it was really great to get to talk to them and see everyone's different perspective. And we had some good question askers in our group, didn't we? It was all homeschool leaders, mostly homeschool leaders. And man, those homeschool leaders know how to ask good questions. So we got to learn a lot about what the Navy does. And there's so much opportunity.
There is. There really is.
Yeah.
And it's just a whole nother thing that as we're training our kids and thinking about their future, it's just another avenue that we can go down if that's where God is leading them.
So when we were wrapping up our little trip, there was one of the Navy reps that wanted to ask us some questions and build a little promo video for the Navy in relation to the homeschool community. So we're going to segue into that so you can watch that for a few minutes, and then we'll come back after that to wrap
Look for
things
us.
up.
We're in the video.
We're in there. So check it out.
I'm Sherry McMinn, and I work for Christian Home Educators of Colorado.
Hey, I'm Brandy Gillum. I am the conference coordinator for Christian Home Educators of Colorado.
Hi, my name is Nathan Macias. I'm the president of the Texas Homeschool Coalition, and I'm also a retired Air Force officer.
I'm Bob Jorger from Mayville, North Dakota, and I'm on the board, the state board of the North Dakota Homeschool Association.
I'm Cindy Duell. I have homeschooled 6 kids, and I've served on the board of our statewide homeschool organization for about 8 years now. That's Arizona Families for Home Education.
Hello, I am Ginger Wade. I am with the Christian Homeschool Association of Pennsylvania, otherwise known as CHAP, and I'm on the board, and I'm also a podcast host.
And I am Sara Madden, also with Christian Homeschool Association of Pennsylvania, and my husband and I together are the convention coordinators for our statewide convention.
My dad was in the Navy, but just from a general person aspect, I mean, I really didn't ever have an insider's view of it.
I knew very little about the United States Navy before the tour, but only had preconceived judgments of it.
For being a retired military officer, I have friends who have served in the Navy as well, relatives who have served in the Navy. But even in the amount I thought that I knew about the Navy, this weekend has just really opened my eyes, gave me a deep appreciation for the United States Navy.
I did not know very much about the Navy, quite actually.
I wouldn't say I knew very much. I had known some people who had served, but what you see in movies.
I don't know, just how ship runs and things like that. I didn't know any of the details of how the Navy functioned that way. I knew they were awesome and that they defend our freedoms, which of course we love. So.
I was completely amazed at how many people in their 18, 19, 20-year-olds are doing these amazing high-skilled jobs. And I talked to so many people, and all of them said they were just signed up for one tour, but they ended up staying 10, 15, 20 years.
The things that they do with such excellency. I mean, I knew there was a system to making everything work and function, but I was shocked at how well oiled the machine was. And I mean, we were on the Nimitz, so it's a 50-year-old vessel, and even then they still take such pride in it, and I mean, they just worked with excellency. So I learned a ton about the United States Navy.
I truly enjoyed spending time with the men and women of the USS Nimitz. And so as I see these senior NCOs, these chiefs on board, they are so committed to the development of the young sailors. So committed. Why? Because they know those young sailors are someday going to take their place on that ship, to be able to lead it, to be able to manage it, and to be able to project it in time of need.
So something that I really gained by watching the inner workings of an aircraft carrier is in my conversations with the sailors, with mostly the officers and the higher ups, how many of them said, I was just in it for my first tour, and then I just made a whole lifetime career out of it. And because they love it so much. So the pride and professionalism that I saw there was just, it was very impressive, and that really struck me.
If you maybe even not quite sure what you want to do, the opportunities are just immense. That was a big eye-opener for me. Just I mean, if you really have the gift of knowledge, you can go to nuclear stuff, you can go in engineering, you can go wherever. And if you're not gifted with some of these abilities, hey, there's so many things. Talk to a 19-year-old young lady today driving a ship an hour a day. She had no clue. She just loves it. She said, I love my job. And so that opportunity to do so many things was an eye-opener to me.
This morning we got to see a destroyer pull up beside, and it was just amazing because it's not all newfangled, let's use a satellite, let's use this. They were using a rope to make sure they kept the right distance, and the tin can yarn style of communicating just in case all the electronics were down, and they still had to communicate. It was just awesome because they use old stuff and they're using the new stuff. They're not losing the old skills. They're still using them together. And again, 2 ship's crews working together to get a job done. I mean, I don't know, it's just huge.
Just the overall opportunity, like how did I get on this trip? This was just mind-blowing to me to experience firsthand the landing onto the deck of an aircraft carrier. I mean, it just blew me away, literally. And then just the graciousness that everyone had with wanting to share what they love about their jobs with us. That was amazing, and that's something that I'll really take with me.
I would highly recommend the Navy to a homeschooler. I think that, first of all, it's a wonderful field for homeschoolers to take dominion. Homeschoolers generally graduate from high school with very good leadership, communication, and character strengths. They have a variety of backgrounds and interests. Many are mechanically minded, many have been hands-on learners, and a lot of them have very high goals of what they want to achieve, and they can immediately get on-the-job training, not just sitting in a classroom with abstract ideas, but hands-on learning. And then after a time, they can start attending college classes if they want, and they are constantly moving up. The culture of the Navy is that you get trained in your job for a year, then you work your job, then the 3rd year you're training your replacement so you can go on to the next thing. And that really impressed me.
Well, I would. And I would, particularly now after this experience, I would recommend it to my own son. And that's saying a lot, because we hold our children with really high regard. But we have decided to devote our entire life to educating our children at home. So what happens with our children, man, we really care about. So I would highly recommend the United States Navy to homeschoolers. It's a phenomenal experience, and I think homeschoolers would be well equipped to serve the Navy well. Many of them are patriots. Many of them are willing to kind of follow the protocols that have been given to them, have a good work ethic. So I think not only would it bless homeschooling families, but the Navy would be blessed to have them in there.
I would. You know, the more, as a retired military officer, some 20 years now, I'll be honest, I've had a little bit of concerns about the military service. After being here, I would wholeheartedly endorse an individual, young homeschooler, to truly consider joining the United States Navy, whether you're going to join straight in an enlisted member, or whether you go to college, get your degree, and then get your commission and be able to serve our great nation in America's Navy.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend to homeschoolers. I think the Navy to homeschoolers, and one of the main things that would come to my mind is, it's kind of what I've experienced with my boys and my families. By 15 years old, they want to get out of the house and go. They want to go make a difference and go. You know, even if they went in for a 4-year window, 4 years goes like a snap. And the confidence and the maturity is outstanding of these people that I met. The skill set of confidence, and I'm running a multi-million-dollar machine by the time I'm 22 years old. And the things that you can do, it blows you out of the water, the experience that'll propel you the rest of your life.
I would. I think that there are probably some people who are suited for it and some who are not. But the opportunities to just grow and contribute to something significant, and to be evaluated based on your character and your willingness to learn and grow and build. I think those are important, and I see homeschoolers being a good fit for that type of environment. Being independent, being able to learn, be teachable, strive for excellence. I think those are all things that really resonate with homeschoolers.
Yeah, absolutely. I learned a lot about that too. And getting to talk to them, and just the opportunity, like, you can stay in the Navy, but if you don't, the opportunity that is there for people who come into the Navy, get skills and build things up, and then, you know, go out there into the real world, or whatever you want to call it. It's just huge. I mean, it's valuable for anybody. And, you know, you could go to school and then go in as an officer, or go in enlisted and learn all these skills. And I don't know, it just opened my eyes to a lot more opportunity that people have, and I don't think they realize it's there. Yeah.
So one thing that I really took away from this, and I think it's so cool, is that the reason we homeschool is so that we can find where our kids thrive. So we're giving each of them opportunities to learn and grow in the things that they're great at, and help them and push them to succeed. Well, that's what the Navy is doing as well. They bring in their fresh recruits, and then, you know, based on their scores in the ASVAB, and they're plugging them into different jobs and seeing where they thrive. And if they're not thriving in that spot, they move them to a new, and that's what we do at home with our kids, and that's what we want them. That's what we want to see, how they can succeed. So I think it's a very natural progression for a homeschool student to go into that environment. I think they're, you know, even better prepared if they've been homeschooled in a way that they have all that flexibility. So I thought that was really cool.
Okay, that was really fun, wasn't it?
Yes.
And you know what? Izzy didn't want to let us do the video together, but
We proved otherwise.
don't we do that well together?
It
Like, we
works.
do this. And he's like, you guys do pretty well. I was like, well, we've kind of done it before. But anyway, so it was so fun. And then what I didn't realize, which I said in the thing, is the opportunities that come out of being in the military. So instead of paying all the money to go into college, you could enlist, build some skills, and then have great job opportunity coming out. So it is something for homeschoolers to consider.
Definitely
Yeah.
a valid avenue for them to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, something to check out. So what's a good step to get connected with them. What do you think? What do you think,
So
Sarah?
I think that you should come to convention because the Navy will be there and they will have people there who understand homeschoolers, understand where you're coming from as a homeschool parent, and have answers to your questions about, what will it be like for my child who, has been raised in this environment to go to the military. So we're bringing them there for you so that you have access to all of the information and you could be making these informed decisions with your young adult children. And registration is open for convention, by the way. It opened on March 1st.
Yay.
And it's the early bird price right now. So if you get out there right now, you're going to get the best deal. So go check it out at conv.chaponline.com.
Yay! So it's the most wonderful time of the year. Well, kind of. Us nerdy homeschoolers think it's pretty great.
We love it.
But anyway, so that is it. Don't forget this, the Navy or the military in general, as an opportunity for your, we're thinking college, we're thinking career, we're thinking trades. Add this into the mix and stir it in a big pot and see what comes out.
Yep.
But anyway, so thanks for tuning in with us today, and we just can't wait to see you. It's not going to be too much longer now.
June 12th through the 14th.
Yes.
It's
can't
coming.
wait to see you all. All right. Hey, comment below if you have any comments or suggestions or questions. We would love to answer them to you. And like I said earlier, subscribe, do all the things. Make sure people know that we're out here.
Yeah.
And keep getting that encouragement for yourself too. All right. Enjoy the springtime as you teach your children to follow Christ in all of life. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.